Having a criminal record can feel like this permanent barrier, this shadow that just follows you everywhere. But what if that could actually change? Well, in Missouri, it just did. A huge new law is about to kick in, and it's offering thousands of people a real shot at a fresh start. So let's break down exactly what's different and what it could mean for you. And for a long time, let's be honest, especially in Missouri, that assumption felt 100% true. The process to clear your record, it was long, it was complicated, and frankly, it was just out of reach for most people. But starting in 2025, that reality is taking a hard turn. A new law is swinging the door wide open for so many people who thought they'd never get the chance to finally clear their names. So what's the big deal here? What's this game-changing new law all about? Well, to put it simply, Missouri has completely rewritten the rules for who can get an expungement and, just as important, how fast they can get one. The two biggest things you need to know about are the waiting periods and the number of offenses you can clear. And wow, look at these numbers. The waiting period for a felony has been slashed from 7 years all the way down to just 3. And for a misdemeanor, it's dropped from 3 years to only 1. I mean, this is a massive change. Think about it. Someone who got off probation for a felony back in 2022 might have thought they had to wait until 2029. Under this new law, they could be eligible to file right now. And it's not just about how long you have to wait. It used to be that you could only clear one single felony from your record for your entire life. That was it. Well, under this new law, they've doubled it. You can now clear up to 2. And it's the same story for misdemeanors. The lifetime limit for those has been bumped up from 2 to 3. It's a really important change because it recognizes that people can make a mistake or even a couple of mistakes and still absolutely deserve a clean slate. Now, this next part is maybe the biggest news of all. Missouri is actually moving toward automatic expungements. Yeah, you heard that right. Starting August 28th, 2025, the state is going to start finding and sealing eligible records on its own without you having to do anything. But, and this is important, that whole process is going to take some time to get rolling. So if you need your record cleared sooner, you can, and you probably should, still file a petition yourself. Okay, so we've been throwing this word expungement around a lot. But what does it actually mean here in Missouri? Because understanding this little detail is really the key to seeing just how powerful this new law is. So here's the deal. In Missouri, an expungement is the legal process of sealing your criminal record. It closes it off from public view. What does that mean in the real world? It means when you go to apply for that job or that apartment and they run a background check, poof, it's not there. You can legally and truthfully check no on that box that asks if you've ever been convicted. Now, this is a super important distinction to make. The record is sealed, not completely erased or destroyed. That's a really common myth. The best way to think about it is like putting a file in a locked cabinet. For pretty much everyone, employers, landlords, the general public, that cabinet is locked and they can't see what's inside. Only a very small number of people, mostly in law enforcement, still have a key. All right, let's get down to brass tacks. This is probably the question you've been waiting for. With all these changes, are you now eligible? Let's just run through a quick checklist to see. So, think of this like your own personal checklist. First up, has that new shorter waiting period passed since you completed your entire sentence? And that means everything, probation is done, parole is done, all fines and restitution are paid in full. Okay? Next, do you have any other charges pending against you right now? Have you managed to stay out of trouble during this waiting period? And finally, is your offense actually on the eligible list? If you're nodding your head yes to these, you are in a very good spot. Okay, so let's say you went through that list and you're thinking, hey, this might actually be me. What happens next? How does this whole process actually work? Let's break down the steps so it doesn't feel so overwhelming. Everything kicks off with this official-looking document, the petition for expungement. Now, this isn't just some form you fill out and drop off. Nope. It's basically a formal lawsuit that you file with the circuit court in the county where the charge originally happened. And you have to name every single agency that might have a copy of your record. We're talking the police department, the prosecutor's office, you name it. So here's the play-by-play. First, you get that petition ready and you file it, and you've got to include a physical fingerprint card with it. Then, all those agencies you listed on the petition are officially served. From that point, they have 30 days to object if they want to. If nobody objects, a judge might just grant it right then and there. If someone does object, then a hearing gets scheduled. You'll go to court, and the judge makes the final call. Okay, let's talk about money. Because yes, there is a cost. The standard court filing fee is $250. But, and this is so important, if you can't afford that, you can file a motion with the court to have that fee waived. Money should not be the thing that stops you from getting a fresh start.
All right, we have to be real for a second. As great as this new law is, it doesn't cover every single thing. There's a very specific list of offenses that, no matter how much time has passed, just cannot be expunged in Missouri. Yeah, this is what you could call the hard no list. It starts with the most serious crimes, Class A felonies and what Missouri law calls dangerous felonies. Think things like robbery or armed criminal action. Any crime that requires you to register as a sex offender is also out. Now, this is a big one. All felony assaults and any domestic assault, even if it was a misdemeanor, are ineligible. And finally, most DWIs are also off the table, although there is a totally separate, much longer process for a first offense.
Whew, okay, that was a lot of legal stuff, I know. So let's zoom back out and talk about what this really truly means for you. Why is getting an expungement such a powerful, life-changing opportunity?
This is really the heart of it all. When a judge signs that order of expungement, it legally restores you to the status you had before the arrest even happened. We're talking about getting your civil rights back, like the right to vote or serve on a jury. But honestly, it's about so much more than that. It's about tearing down those real-world barriers that stop you from getting a better job, a safer place to live, and at the end of the day, just some peace of mind.
So when you look at all these incredible changes, the shorter waits, the higher limits, the question you gotta ask yourself is it time? Is this your moment for a fresh start? It's a chance to finally put the past in the past and move forward. And for so many people in Missouri, that chance is finally here.